Hey, you guys, you're going to want to listen all the way through this episode because Kelly and Adam are going to help me give me tips on how not to miss any live shows in the future.
Yeah.
And Sharon makes Adam and I both giggle profusely with her impersonation of Tony Braxton.
Can't wait to hear it again. And stay tuned to see if you can be better than me and Sharon at Kelly's Trivia. Enjoy the show, everyone.
Well, hey, you guys, that's Kelly. Over there, you got your Adam.
Hello.
And I'm Sharon. You know what we're doing today, you guys? We're hitting the spice rack hard. Just wanted to show my Canadian accent there. We're hitting the spice rack hard, and actually in the most sensible way. We're also going to tell you who's got some special sauce that will weirdly be a huge seller. Kelly's Trivia is going to teach and destroy any over ego you might have. And your 90s rewind will take us to at least a couple of movies from one of our favorite years in our favorite decade. And you know what? We have to start here because we got some terribly sad news about Matthew Perry just a few days ago, and the ripple effect of his impact is ongoing and will be for a while. So I figure we should start there.
Mm-hmm.
It's surprising to his family and friends. It's surprising to his fans for sure. And just heartbreaking because it seems like he'd overcome, or at least got by. I don't know that you ever overcome addiction. You live with it. And at this point of recording this show, we're still waiting on details, and I imagine we're going to be waiting for weeks again about under the banner of stuff that's legitimately none of our business. But the world is sad to have lost really someone that they considered their friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pretty wild.
Something that struck me immediately was in the hours following his passing, when people like celebrities started to write notes.
Yeah.
I was shell shocked to see certain people write about him, because again, I think Hollywood is smaller than we think.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I caught myself a few times going, wow, I didn't even think he would know that person.
Yeah.
And then found out that they had starred in an episode together, or somebody guest starred or whatever, and I just completely didn't think. I think Alyssa Milano was something that shocked me. I didn't.
Yeah, I saw that one too.
Yeah, when they were kids. So that was a shocker for me, just how many different people he knew, and the fact that apparently he was buddies with Meryl Streep, that I did not know. And then the other thing, and I think we talked about this about when Leslie Jordan passed away.
Yeah.
Everybody said what a nice, kind human Matthew Perry was. Everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that just is affirming, I think, to know that he really was an amazing person off screen.
Yeah, it's I think from my angle, I remain sort of compelled that his desire when he was touring for his book last year, his desire was to not be remembered first for friends. Not that he didn't want to be remembered for friends. He didn't want that to be first. He wanted the thing that people remember him by was kindness and being of service to others, which I think is an amazing thing to want for your own legacy. And not for nothing, he did the work, and there was a few people that you don't even have to look too hard into how he helped people. I was reading the other day about how he had given up his home in Malibu to transfer it into a safe house or a I can't think of the word in this moment, like a retreat, but to hand it over to use it for good.
Yeah.
I like that everybody referred to him as the funniest guy in the room, which is, I think, on one hand, makes complete sense. And on the other hand, I didn't read the book, but everything I've heard about the book or excerpts that I've seen point to the heaviness of the book and the sadness, which is his struggle. That's not surprising then that you want to deflect and distract by being the funniest person in the room.
Yeah.
I mean, it served him wonderfully in his career, certainly, and likely with his friends too, literal friends in real life. But his legacy will be as a friend, I think, which is a really nice thing to have overall. Friend on TV and friend for those in need, which is great.
Yeah. Adam?
I'm still at loss for words. I haven't said anything for the past 5 minutes. I when I saw the news, was it Saturday night?
Yeah.
I just started bawling my eyes out. I was just sitting on the couch. I was watching TV, and I took a picture. I took a selfie of like me 20 seconds after reading the news, and waterfalls coming out of my eyes. Yeah, still lost for words. I don't really know what to say. It sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. And the
Big
thing,
big cloud.
and I watched, I don't know if you saw this, Sharon, but I kind of went down a bit of a rabbit hole the other night because again, it was kind of like the same. It wasn't as intense for me because George Michael is my man, but like I was very, very upset about Matthew. And so I started to go down this rabbit hole on YouTube and saw an interview that he did here in Canada on CBC with Tom Power for Q. And they were actually in like a theater in Toronto, I guess last November or early December, something like that. And there was like a whole audience, and that was one of the most poignant interviews I've seen Matthew do because it was a prolonged one. It wasn't just like 8 minutes on The View.
Yeah.
It was like 48 minutes. And it was just really interesting to watch him talk, not trying to be the funny one. Like he was just literally like, I mean, he was funny because
Of
he
course,
is,
yeah.
but
Natural.
it was just so, and he actually, the only time he got emotional was when he talked about how, I think it was still in his brain, like the unfairness of how he has to deal with addiction, whereas the other 5 on Friends didn't.
Right.
And that's where he got emotional. And it's kind of interesting because it's like, yes, he's had to deal with that, but I don't know if he's taken into account who knows what the other ones have to go through. Because for sure, everybody has something in life, whether it's addiction or not. But I know that, I guess it just was a really big burden for him that he had to deal with addiction, knowing that that wasn't one of the battles they had to wage.
Right. And yet they did, because of their commitment and friendship to him. Certainly not in the same way. But that's you're right. It is a raw reaction.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I saw a clip today as of our recording that popped up. And I knew about this clip, but completely forgot about it when Diane Sawyer was interviewing Jennifer Aniston in 2004. And she talked about like, because at that point it was, like I know full awareness that Matthew had a problem and had already gone through rehab because he'd even been on Letterman and other shows talking about how he'd been through rehab. And she actually got choked up about the thought of losing him. And this was, I think, he probably was maybe back in addiction at some point there, or I should say, like, he's always in addiction, but maybe it was a struggle again. But she got teary-eyed saying, like, I can't even fathom him not being here. So I'm assuming she's really hit extra hard, especially because he had said in an interview when he was promoting his book last year that out of all of them, I think she checked in on him the most.
Right.
And I think we
strikes
all
me
know
as that.
Yeah. And I think we all know that Jennifer is like, you just know Jennifer is like, and there's nothing wrong with this because I'm exactly the same way, like sensitive, like she's very sensitive.
Yeah.
And
well, she's the magnet, I think, for that group of people and her even bigger circle of friends. If you look closely, when she got on Instagram, I mean, it almost broke.
Yeah.
But you'll hear people talk about, oh, we went to this dinner and it was at Jen's. Like she's the host. She's the mother of them all almost, which is really nice. It's and I find again it humanizes the experience of us watching. Like they do such a good job in their acting that we do think that we know them. We do have this level of friendship with them, but that they have achieved that in their own real life, that friendship, that those relationships, you have to be happy for those people, that they've done it.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what's interesting too that I noticed, and I don't know if you guys noticed this as well, but he's one of the only people that has passed away in a way where it's like TMZ and other publications can't stop reporting on it.
Yeah.
Like they literally can't. Like even when Prince died, it was pretty epic but I don't remember it being this epic. Like every minute some publication has something, even if it's nothing, even it's like I saw something today that was ridiculous and it's like, well, folks, like the homicide department of the LAPD has to investigate like Matthew's death. And it's like,
yes,
okay, but why are you telling this? Because apparently that's routine. Like apparently
of course,
it's a routine thing, but it's like until there's nothing left to literally report on, everybody's trying to find one little nugget to report on, because I think it is such a loss for so many people.
And that's such a, yeah, and you want to be the first to report it. I don't think that anybody even thinks that way anymore. Oh, I saw it there first. I don't like that. I think that shift has legitimately happened. And yet at the same time, the that industry of wanting that information, paparazzi style stuff, is fed by us.
Oh yeah,
it's fed by an appetite for it, so they have to exist because in some weird way we're feeding that weird machine. Strange.
Yeah, very strange
indeed. And we can only wish that that for all the good that he brought into our lives, that he was able to find some peace, and may his family and friends find the same.
Yeah,
it's an awkward transition for sure, but usually what helps in situations, I find, is music, but also Kelly's trivia.
Let's give it a go.
90s now. Trivia.
Bing bong.
Bing. Emphasis on the bing bong.
Yeah, good one, Sharon. It's really the bing bong that makes it all worth it. Really.
True. Thank you, Adam.
Yeah. So we'll start with the hard one first. So news and politics banner. And
right.
I feel, sorry, I missed that.
I just said, all right, I'm ready.
Okay, I feel confident that I think both of you will know this one.
And it's the hard one?
And it's the hard one, but it's on the hard card. It's on the challenging card, but I think you're gonna get this one. Who became prime minister after winning a landslide victory in the 1997 UK general election?
Sharon?
Adam.
You go.
Oh, that was close. Adam, you're gonna go. Adam, go.
Elizabeth May.
Nope.
Sharon.
Go, Sharon.
Tony Blair.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm.
He was the Spice Girl prime minister. He was in the time of the Spice Girls. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. And I think he was asked, wasn't he? I saw, oh yeah, because he was asked to comment. Because so I just recently watched the Beckham doc. Have you guys watched it yet?
I haven't watched
Not
it
yet.
Oh my God. So so it's like 4 episodes, I think, of like an hour and a bit each. And I normally I kind of binge watched it over 2 nights. And yeah, Tony Blair I didn't realize how much HE double hockey sticks David Beckham went through when he got kicked out of the World Cup game. And I can't remember what year it is, back in the 90s. And I knew it was rough, but I guess over here on our side of the pond in Canada, unless you were really actively following it, I don't think you knew the hell he went through. And he went through a lot. And so there was a clip in the doc about Tony Blair being asked to comment. Imagine the prime minister of the country being asked to comment on David Beckham's playing and how the England got kicked out of the World Cup because they didn't win the game.
That's how much it matters to them.
It was bananas. So yeah, so here we are. This is hobbies, toys, and games.
Okay, but just before we go there,
yes, sir.
Wade, just before we go there, I just realized in my answer of Elizabeth May, the previous question was, I know it's not the right answer, but I was thinking Margaret Thatcher. That's what I wanted to answer.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Because Elizabeth May was, she was the leader of the more recent in Canada, the Green Party that didn't win anything.
Of course.
So I was way off track.
That's all right, Adam.
And I wasn't even thinking Elizabeth. It sounded familiar, but I thought he's talking about the most recent British prime minister.
Yeah, because wasn't her last name May also?
I'm blanking now.
Oh, was it Theresa May? Okay, there we go. Theresa May.
Phew.
Okay, so that's the one I was talking about.
Yeah.
Woo.
So you weren't too far off, Adam.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it wrong correcting myself.
Okay.
So,
just before moving on to second question, watch the Beckham doc. It's very good.
Yes,
yeah,
will do.
Cool. So here we go. Crayola crayons were inducted into the National Toy Hall of Fame in which year?
Sharon.
Go, Sharon.
1990.
No, Adam.
I was gonna guess 92.
Both right. It's so funny, both wrong. So
that's not funny, Kelly.
Hilarious.
But I think it was 2 weeks ago. It was Adam can't
All
breathe.
right, I'm done. I'm done.
Oh
I think it was
my.
2 weeks ago, you both, it was like the answer was like 92 or 94, and you both guessed like way later in the decade, and now you
Yeah.
guessed first. You both guessed
Oh
early in
wow.
the decade, and the answer was 98.
Interesting.
Yeah, I was definitely guessing early 90s, but
Yeah, yeah.
Huh.
You know what's funny is like I have to stay out of like stationery stores because when I see Crayola crayons, I always think I should buy them because then I'm gonna like do some art. And like I never do the art.
I
So
love crayons. I love going to a place where there's crayons out. Like at a
Yeah.
restaurant, you know, sometimes they have crayons for kids, but they're already on the table, so you don't have to ask for them, and then you can do it as an adult.
yeah.
I like it.
yeah. Didn't they used to have what there was a restaurant in the West Island, Sharon? Oh my God, what was it
Jack
called? Jack
Astor's.
Astor's, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could draw on the on the brown paper on tablecloth.
Yeah. Because they used to pull out a new tablecloth every like that was their
Mhm.
thing.
Yeah.
They'd pull it. Yeah, that's
Smart.
amazing. Yeah.
And then like as a grown-up, they'd bring your meal and you'd be like, but I'm not finished. Are you gonna put that on my
Yeah.
on my dog face? You know? I guess so.
Yeah. Yeah. And then by the end of the dinner, like your little dog face had like mayonnaise dripping
Yeah,
down.
of course.
Anyways,
right,
that's enough trivia. Yeah.
Okay, well, I think we did okay. Why? Because I got one. That's why.
Yeah.
Uh, so hang on a second. I just pressed something bad on my computer here. Just let me
Uh-oh.
make sure that we're still good to go. Oh, we're still going. That's good. Fee you.
Perfect.
We're going to the spice rack because I thought that was a clever segue earlier. So we're going to talk about the Spice Girls and a deal that I personally cannot believe took this long to come to life, and it's not even coming to life yet.
Yeah.
It's just a pretty big rumor, but I like it. It means that there may very well be. See, I'm already making it happen. A documentary on the Spice Girls.
Yay.
What? Come on, and a big payout for all of them too, right?
Yeah, over a million. Well, for us, it would because it's a £1 million, so that must
Yep.
be 1.3 or 1.4 million Canadian. That's at
It's
least.
like $1 bazillion
Yeah,
in toonies.
It's actually
Sidebar.
1.7
1.7.
million Canadian
Wow.
dollars. Yeah.
That's nice. That's
I
nice.
get you a lot of poutine up here in Canada.
Yeah.
And 1.2 million US dollars for our
Crazy.
friends in the
Whoa.
States.
That's
yeah.
nice.
That's a decent chunk of change.
Yeah.
That's like lunch money for Victoria Beckham.
Well, yeah, and interesting, the whole chain of events. You talk about the Beckham doc, that she's in that, right?
Yep.
Undoubtedly. And that the Spice Girls thing could happen. We'll get back to the Spice Girls angle in a second, but that there's talk about there being a documentary on Victoria
Yep.
herself, which I think that would make sense. I mean, her existence outside of the band, the group, took on a whole life of its own. So
yeah, well, her fashion career, I mean, like so many celebrities, like I think she even just posted something recently about Kim Kardashian wearing one of her gowns, like recently.
nice.
So it's no, they've both managed, and that's what you'll also see in the doc, not to give away too many details, but just seeing like how David and Victoria are self-made.
Yeah. Hard workers.
Yeah.
Now, the other fun thing about the chance of a documentary, it would be Netflix that would carry it and pay out the millions to each of the Spiceys, but that they're trying to line it up. At least the rumor mill is telling us this, and who doesn't love the rumor mill? That they would line it up with a performance perhaps at Glastonbury 2024.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's soon. They would have to conclude the lineup for that festival soon. So this is all going to come. Like, it's going to be our Christmas gift.
When is Glastonbury happening?
June?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it goes on for, is it 2 weeks, Sharon? 3?
Forever. It's still going now.
It's still on right now.
It's at least 2 weeks, I think, because they get the roster is amazing.
Imagine though, you've just now put something in my head of like where Glastonbury is like full year round, where like in between the big show in June, like they actually have just a series of locals like playing the flute for like various times of the day.
Yeah.
Like just to
Are you here for Glastonbury? You bet I am. We all are, all the
I've
time.
got some answers. It's from June 26th to June 30th, 2024 this year. Well, next year. So it's only 4 days.
I don't know. About
Well,
that.
5 days technically.
see, it
Yeah,
just got
5
longer.
days. I know
It just got-
because of my poor math.
And my poor math. Maybe I don't know, man. I always thought it was longer than that.
Are
Whatever.
you thinking of Coachella? Because that's over 2 weekends, right?
Yeah. But
Yeah,
but
maybe
it's
I was.
only on the weekends. Do
It's
they
only on
have
the
anything
weekends.
in between the weekends? I don't think they do,
No,
right?
there isn't. No.
Oh, okay. And also, there's a festival in Quebec called the Festival d'été de Québec, so the summer festival.
Mhm.
That goes on forever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
probably
it's almost
10 or
weeks,
12
eh?
days. Yeah. Is
It's
it
like
more? Is
6
it more?
months. I don't even know. My time measure clearly
I think you're
is
right, Adam.
poor.
I think it's 10 to 12 days. I think you're right. And was it this year or last year? Foo Fighters were here for that, weren't they? Like,
This past summer, yeah.
right. Okay.
That's why they did
Oh, the little show.
Quebec. They did Ottawa, the Blues Fest in Ottawa, and then they did that pop-up 4,000 seater in Montreal that everybody lost their minds for.
Yep.
I did too, but I didn't get in.
And it is a
Wah,
12-day festival. 12 days.
Feels longer.
Darren, how did you not get in? You're the morning host of Shome.
Don't even. You know what? It's fair. I tried to get tickets on my own. Everybody was asking. I didn't get. But
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? Nothing
Yeah.
you can do. It's already happened. Okay, Kelly, it's over. I'm
Okay.
fine.
I'm surprised we didn't see Sharon there with a little fake mustache and like in a janitor's outfit.
I'm
The
gonna
broom.
try that next time.
Yeah. Trust me, I got all the hookups, Sharon. I could figure out a little mustache for
It's
you.
me, the janitor.
Clearly, you're Italian now as well.
Yeah.
It's me, Mario. All right, you guys, we got a special sauce alert. You ready for it?
Uh-oh.
M&M opened a restaurant. It's been a couple of years now, right?
Mhm.
Mom's Spaghetti.
That's a real news.
Well, no, it's 2 years old. The
Oh.
the restaurant's 2 years old, but the spaghetti sauce is going out into the world.
That's
I
me.
thought that was an early April's Fool's prank.
Well, no.
Well, if you're telling me it has to be legit, right?
Well, if I saw it on the internet, it has to be happening.
Okay, perfect.
It
Okay.
wasn't a People magazine interview or article, so People is usually pretty accurate. So
Well, it all makes sense because if you can simplify a menu and make it work and then of course you're going to sell the sauce. That aside from the fact that the name itself,
Mhm.
Mom Spaghetti, is a reference to him throwing up
yeah.
Mom Spaghetti on his shirt, right?
Yeah.
Before being so
Yeah.
nervous for a performance.
Yeah.
That's the part I think, yeah, I got to get me some Mom Spaghetti.
Yeah.
Like, it's sort of gross,
It
but
is.
it's totally going to kill. It's going to work.
Yeah, it's gonna work. Yeah.
Yeah. It's rude.
But only Eminem could pull this off.
Yeah, more power to him. How about we do a 90s rewind?
Let's
Yay.
do it.
How's that
Woo.
for a setup? We're going back to 1996, where Blackstreet, featuring Dr. Dre, was sure to hit it big. Why? Why was there no doubt? Because they said so in the song. No diggity, no doubt.
Yep.
Toni Braxton, man, oh man, she spent the summer in our speakers with her album Secrets that had the production fingerprints of many folks like L.A. Reid and Babyface and David Foster, who actually worked on the song that I'm going to point out, Unbreak My Heart, which showed Toni Braxton feeling pretty low and singing pretty low too. Pretty low.
It's like she's here.
Unbreak my heart. Speaking of Babyface, though, I know you're welcome, everybody. Speaking of Babyface, he did the backing vocals on Eric Clapton's "Change the World," which was a huge part of the Phenomenon soundtrack from the summer of 1996. That, of course, with John Travolta and Keira Sedgwick, and also en route to being in theaters was Space Jam. And sorry, I had to do a
Sharon's
little
doing a shimmy shake for
shoulder
our audio
shimmy.
listeners.
The soundtrack, of course, gave the Quad City DJs their signature hit, "Come On and Ride It." The train. I want to ride it. The train. See, it sounds different. When you say it, it sounds lame. When you sing it, way better.
Yep.
Heading into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the self-titled second album proved that the first album wasn't a fluke after all. The Tuesday Night Music Club that made Sheryl Crow such a household name, if it makes you happy, made all of us very happy.
Great
And you
song.
guys, that is your 90s Rewind.
Thank you, Sharon.
Good
Thank
job.
you guys. Thanks.
Quick mention, just because you were doing your rewind, Sophie B. Hawkins has been a recent guest on the Rosie O'Donnell podcast.
Ooh, fun.
We'll cross promote, even though Rosie doesn't cross promote for us as a guest.
We'll send her a note after I give 50 Cent a little lesson in maturity. I'll send Rosie a note. Hey, listen, you know what? We talk about yours. If you could just drop a name on ours.
Yeah. Just a little bit. Yeah. So so that was that. And then also here's a music homework for the two of you. Because Sharon brought up No Diggity. There's a song that
No
we're playing right
Doubt.
now on No Doubt on Virgin from Doechii, and it's called What It Is. And tell me if you
Nice.
think when you listen to it that it's like the 2023 version of No Diggity.
Okay.
Yeah, but like so similar, not same, not like straight up copy or anything, but like vibey, very
Vibey.
yeah. Yeah.
Doechii, how do you spell Doechii?
Doechii, I think. I think there's two I's. Yeah.
Why wouldn't there be?
Yep.
Why wouldn't there be extra eyes?
I feel like I get it. I do know the song. I do see the resemblance. I do see the
Yeah.
That's a great song.
Yeah, it's a great song. We're playing. Sharon, you have to listen. I'm sure because you listen to
I
Virgin.
feel left out. Like I feel like I should lie. Yeah, it's a great song.
And I just realized looking up the lyrics that we're playing the clean version, and that's the only version I know.
Yes.
Imagine then you go to the show and you're like, what?
Yeah, exactly.
What are you saying?
Well, they're singing a lot of a word that sounds like oh, if you know what I mean.
Don't do that for me because I have to edit this podcast.
Oh.
It sounds like oh.
Sheila?
Who's Sheila?
Oh, Sheila. It's a song.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, then.
Adam wasn't born yet. Yeah.
I know. God.
I'm missing
Anyways,
on
you
so
guys.
much.
Yeah.
No, you're not. You're fine.
That's enough of us now.
That's enough out of you and me and him. And you guys, thank you very much for finding us wherever it is that you do that. We appreciate it. Thank you very much for listening to 90s Now. Still happening.